Hello guys, so today we are moving on to the second phase of this end of the year decluttering, and I'm really excited. This is mostly dealing with paper documents like magazines, instruction manuals, books, bills, stationery, everything like that. This is actually something that I haven't touched very often, basically since I moved here in, oh god, when was it? July? So yeah, embarrassingly enough, I've been here for about 6 months, but I haven't fully unpacked. So we're gonna go and we're going to explore the jumbled, clustered wonderland, which is my little storage space in the garage. Let's do this. Well, this is my little ugly corner of the garage, which has also been taken over by at least one roommate. Like I said in my last video, I live with a lot of musicians, like bam, it's basically a makeshift recording studio in here. So a lot of this stuff has to be moved into my room, which is tiny. And yeah, it's freaking cold in here, hence the massive amount of wonderful, very crunchy, beautiful, crisp ice type stuff on the ground. Frost, that's the word. So I guess let's just get shifting this because I don't want to be in here. Alrighty, so I managed to wrangle everything that fits within the 6 categories we're doing today. I had to go into the garage, into the built-ins in my room, into my car. Unfortunately, since a lot of these categories contain sensitive information about my person, I won't be showing the full thing. So sorry, but like, you know, got to keep my identity safe. I'm going to go ahead and organize these by category, and I'll see you guys with the first one. We're starting out easy with magazines and manuals. Initially, I thought this was going to be really easy because I'm like, okay, I only have a few magazines and I have my car manual, but then I got going through all my stuff and I realized, oh shit, I still have all my stuff from beauty school and, you know, stuff for my credit union and all that other stuff. So it's a bigger pile than I was expecting, and I know that I'm not going to make a whole lot of progress with this one, and you know what? I'm okay with that. So let's get started. I need to keep these 2 things. This is super embarrassing, but I started school like very late 2014 and it's almost 2018 and I still haven't turned in my final senior assignment. Look at me go. Backstory. I moved out of state directly after graduating for a girl who ended up dumping me like 6 months later. So don't do that, kids. I am going to keep this because I do need it to pass state boards. Let's see. Do I need this? Oh god, yeah, I absolutely do. This is important stuff about like business stuff regarding the beauty industry. I'm going to keep all of the rest of my textbooks because there's actually a textbook and then there's a study guide. Oh my god, I'm just hoping that these aren't actually out of date by this point because there's a very big possibility that they are. And I don't think I'm going to keep this Dermalogica book. It's probably would be really good for me to hold on to if I wanted to get a job like exclusively at Ulta. But I have a ton of friends that I went to school with that still have this book, so I'm going to pass that along to someone who needs it. I actually jacked this magazine from a waiting room when I was in Southern California. I completely forgot that I had it. And it's just full of a whole bunch of really like food porny Japanese dessert dishes, and I adore Japanese food, but the thing is I can find this online, so I'm going to be getting rid of that. This is the little folder which I keep all my stuff regarding my credit union stuff. I kind of added it in here because it's kind of in pamphlet form. Everything in here, actually no, not everything in here, that's ridiculous. This is actually from my doctor. I don't know why that got in there, so that's going to be reassessed. But everything else in here is pretty much relevant to my account, so I'm going to keep that. I have this because I was recently diagnosed with polycystic ovary syndrome, and I'm under the care of a nutritionalist because my body doesn't process sugar. I'm not diabetic, but my ovaries hate me. I have a few pamphlets in here that just have some stuff. Honestly, like I can find all of this information online. There's so many resources for people that are on low glycemic index diets nowadays, so I'm going to get rid of all of this. I don't need it. I really don't need this Ulta magazine. It just happened to be in my room. This is my car manual. And I know that I can probably find the car manual online, but it's like in very early 2000s model, so I'd rather just keep a physical one there. Plus, like, I feel like I can concentrate better with an actual physical book. So this is staying, especially since I need to do some repairs on my vehicle. I'm just gonna check out, see what else is in here. Warranty and maintenance booklet. Sure, I'll keep it with it. Warranty and maintenance supplement. Sure, why not? Some other stuff in here. This is a light bulb thing. I don't need that. I can find that information online. Little pamphlet I guess I'll just keep with my stuff. I had one of my first registration cards for this. This is totally unnecessary. I don't live at that address anymore. It's out of date, so I am going to get rid of it securely. I don't need this, but I want to keep it with all the stuff because I don't know. It's just, I'm kind of a sentimental sap and I like keeping like factory things together. I don't need to keep this Bridgestone thing because I don't have Bridgestone tires. I get my tires done at Les Schwab and they already have like a little bit of information that I have somewhere in my car. Oh my god, look at this. This is an instructional manual to use your keyless entry system. Look at that. That is just like, oh my god, I can't believe someone actually had to type up this pamphlet. Dude, like 16 years ago, almost 17 years ago was a wild time, y'all. This is cute. I think I'm gonna keep it with all the other stuff, just because. And again, I have another tire warranty that I don't need because I don't have those tires, so that's getting rid of. I'm actually gonna get rid of this because I don't have those tires. Lastly, I have my AAA membership handbook. I can find all this information online. I don't need it in my car. Yeah, and I think this is actually from a policy that I no longer have anymore. I don't need any of this. All this is going goodbye. So I got ahead of myself and I put my textbooks in with the last batch. They should be with my notebooks, but that's what you get for being over-eager and really bad at reading comprehension. So we're just going to be doing notebooks, and honestly, I have a lot more than I initially expected. I thought I only had 2, but I have more, and these were all hiding in boxes in the garage, and I was not aware of their presence. Let's see. I'm going to keep this little moleskin one. I use this to kind of jot down notes and important things and ideas. So that one is staying. I have no idea what is in this notebook. Let's take a peek. Oh boy. Wow, yeah. This is a hodgepodge of awfulness. Wow, yeah, no, this has no place in my life anymore. It started out as kind of like a really intense thing about body weight and everything. For those of you that don't know, I struggle with, well, I kind of still do struggle with eating disorders, and I have since middle school. And so there was a lot of that when I was like really deep into it, and then it just transitioned into planning for a YouTube channel that I had that I no longer have because I got out of the makeup game because it was just stifling and awful. So that is going to be recycled with much relish. I do not need that kind of negativity in my life. I have another like super decked out one. This one I actually used when I was going to therapy in Southern California. And I actually have a shit ton of printouts from the therapist I was seeing that I'm probably going to keep. No, I don't need to keep them. Yeah, I don't need to keep any of this. I'm going to recycle what I can of this. And since the printouts that she used were actually from an online Australian mental health resource, I'm just going to do that because I really like that system. But, you know, I don't need this kind of weighing me down, so I'm going to get rid of that. I'm really sad about all those stickers. Oh yeah, and then on the other side I have more stuff for a channel that I no longer have. I have another notebook, surprise surprise. This one actually has, oh my god, look at this! This is the planning that I did for my not my very first, but like my introduction video to this channel. Oh, that's so cute. That's so cute. Look at me. I have a few other ideas in here. So I think
I'm just going to jot down what I want to keep from here and then get rid of the rest of this. Actually, no, none of these are currently relevant, so that's going to be recycled. I have yet another nondescript mystery book, so let's take a peek what's in here. Oh yeah, this was, wait, nope, yeah, it's pretty much like this one, full of self-hatred and makeup stuff. Goodbye. And lastly is my most current one. This, unfortunately, also has some really negative self-talk in it. But it's also kind of like my bullet journal, and where I also keep my brain straight and more drawn out plans for videos. So I'll keep this for now. But I'm going to try to be kind to myself and nice to myself next year, because honestly, like, the world's going to shit. I don't need myself beating myself down as well. Cool, so that was like the easiest category, and I'm only keeping 2 items, so hell yeah me, good job. So we have moved on to CDs, DVDs, and textbooks. I actually don't have any DVDs, but I do have a cassette tape. This is always something I kind of have issues decluttering, because I enjoy books. I grew up in a house that valued reading and had several floor-to-ceiling bookshelves covered with books. So I always feel really guilty getting rid of them. However, I've kind of just come to the realization that they're not doing me any good if they're sitting there. It's a lot better if someone else is enjoying them rather than myself. There are a few items in here that I know that I'm like 100% keeping, but I'm hoping to make some pretty good progress here. I guess we'll just get started over here. I'm keeping the Phantom Toll Booth. This is one of my favorite childhood stories. I am holding on to that. I do have the Life-Changing Magic of Tidying Up Surprise and Spark Joy. However, Life-Changing right now is on loan to a friend, and I hope that he's enjoying it. And I'm going to keep both of them because I actually do read them at least once a year, just to kind of like recenter myself. This behemoth is Jonathan Strange and Mr. Norrell, and I actually got into this because I saw the BBC series on it before I even knew the book was a real thing. So I haven't really had the time to sit down and read this, but I really enjoyed the series, so I know that I'm going to enjoy the book much more. I'm also keeping the Little Book of Skincare. This to me is also kind of like a manual that I go through at least once a year, just like the Marie Kondo books. This book is actually on loan to me from my mom, and it's from a chiropractor that took over the practice in my little home section of Seattle, and he really fucked up. He ended up sleeping with a whole bunch of patients and everything, and so this is his book, his tell-all exposure of self, and it's just, oh my god, it's a trip to read, because this guy is like the least self-aware narcissistic piece of shit I have ever come across. And it's taken me so long to read it because I could only make it like 20 pages before wanting to punch this guy's face in. But it's been really funny because I'm like reading this and he's changing the names of places, and I'm like, I know exactly where that is, you sneaky little shit. So it's just been a really, really fun read. I don't know if I necessarily recommend it to anyone else because it's literally trash literature. It's awful, but it's funny to me. I am keeping the cool factor. I really, really like this. This was actually my other decluttering video because it was in my bag, and it's just a beautiful pictorial catalog of fashion from individual people, and I really like it. I actually recently bought this like last week, and I love this book, Adulting: How to Become a Grown-Up in 468 Easy-ish Steps. This really speaks to me, and so if you're kind of like a millennial that's in your mid-20s and you're still trying to figure yourself out and what to do, I highly recommend this. But what makes this really weird is I brought this home and I was reading it on the couch, and one of the 2 roommates that are in a band together looked at it, and he was like, oh yeah, I got interviewed by this author, me and Travis did, like several years ago, and I thought that was really, really weird. So it's a good book, and she knows my roommates. This was given to me by my Uncle Mark. It's Between Pacific Tides, and this was a textbook that he used when he was in school back in, oh god, 70s, 80s or something. You want to see how much a textbook cost for like university back then? $6.50. I know it looks like $650, but it was $6.50. I'm pissed. But yeah, I really enjoy this because I grew up kind of like in the tide pools in the Seattle area, and so I really, really like marine life, and it's just really fun to see all the cute little things. And I like kind of picking this up and thumbing through it every now and again. So that's staying. Now, on to this pile, which is pretty much going to go completely away. Unfortunately, the 6 CD changer in my car ate a CD and is refusing to get rid of any of the other 5 in there. So a lot of these are going to be empty. I don't need CDs anymore. I think that CDs are kind of like an outmoded way of listening to music, unfortunately. So I'm going to rip what I want from pretty much all of these and then just discard them. A lot of these aren't good enough to be going to like a secondhand shop, which is unfortunate. So I'm going to have to toss a lot of them, which sucks because, you know, plastic. But Nirvana bleach, that's going to get ripped. Led Zeppelin early days, yeah, this has been trashed. That's gonna get ripped and then discarded. Killers Sam's Town, which has a Red Hot Chili Peppers thing in it. That's okay. I don't know. That might be stuck in my car. Never mind the bollocks. Here's the Sex Pistols. I already ripped this to my computer. This one is stuck in my car. I'm going to discard. Okay, so this was supposed to be a Red Hot Chili Peppers best of thing, and it has a Doors CD in there. That's weird. So I am going to rip what I want from the greatest hits, and then I'm going to bring this to my local like record shop and see if they want it. If not, it'll probably get donated because it's in pretty decent shape. I have the incomplete Beatles Love thing. They're supposed to be a CD in here, and I literally haven't seen it in probably 5 years. I don't know where it is. So this is going to be discarded. This is actually a somewhat local band. They're from Eugene, and that's a bit south of me. And this is the Rock and Roll Soldiers. They only made 1 album, and I really, really like it. Unfortunately, the CD is stuck in my car. So, discard and cry for the rest of my life. Pamphlet for the Led Zeppelin early days. That's going to go over there. I've got White Stripes Elephant, which has, oh shit, there's the Rock and Roll Soldiers thing. Oh, thank God. Awesome. Okay, so I'm going to rip this and then discard. Since this is in pretty decent shape, I'm probably going to see if the record shop wants it too. This is my tape. This is the JJ. They are a Long Beach all-female garage band, and I love their work. This is staying. I have a tape deck in my car, which means I can actually listen to it. Now, this is a throwback. I am from that era where you would make mixed CDs, and my friend made one for her 12th birthday, and this to me is iconic. It's really a huge sentimental thing for me. It's really funny because this girl I actually met in kindergarten, and she hated my outfit the first day of school, so she punched me every day for 3 days in the arm until we read a story about friendship, and she turned to me just like, hey, do you want to be best friends? And I was like, sure. So, yeah, yeah, I don't know. I don't really like the majority of the songs on here, but I saw this and it made me smile. But I don't need it, so I think I'm going to discard it. It's just because I'm discarding it doesn't mean that, you know, she's not a close person to my heart. It's just that I don't need it. It takes up space. One of my other roommates gave me this, and he's actually on this. It's kind of like a local menagerie of stuff, so I think I'm going to rip this to my computer and then discard it. I have the Hives Barely Legal, which is stuck in my car. I love this album, but there's nothing I can do. I'm gonna discard it. I have a Rush album. This one's a little worse for wear, but it might still be good enough to see if the record shop wants it. I have Everclear, So Much for the Afterglow, which is also probably stuck in my car. Discard. Led Zeppelin, Later Days. It's in pretty decent shape. Unfortunately, the one that goes with this is part of the box set isn't. So discard. I'll see maybe if the record shop wants this one. I don't know if they will want an incomplete set though. Smashing Pumpkins Zeitgeist. Literally, like, only the first, like 4 out of these songs are actually good. This was a really shit record by them, so that's going away. Led Zeppelin 2. Good shape. I'll see if the record store wants it. The Hives, Tyrannosaurus Hives, also stuck in my car. Can't do anything about it. Discard. I have this Doors 2-piece set that has seen better days. I went through a Doors period when I was a kid, and Now I just find it to be a little too long-winded and, I don't know, not really my style, so I'm going to get rid of that. I had, oh wait, no, shit, I do have the Grease soundtrack. One of my roommates is obsessed with this. I'm actually going to give this to her. She will play the shit out of this. She will love this. And then I have the Get Behind Me Satan thing from White Stripes, which, oh shit, this has the Everclear one, so that's stuck in my car. Great. Moving on next, this is more of like sentimental book stuff, so who knows where this will be going. This I got from my school when I was in school for aesthetics and, you know, I don't know. I had a time there, not necessarily a good time. Oh god, oh no! There's a picture of me with my ex-girlfriend. Damn it. Oh well, you know, I don't particularly need this. All the people that I want to be in contact with from school, I am over Facebook. I think I'm going to discard this, which is a huge thing for me. A huge thing. I am keeping this. This was actually, my grandfather contributed to this, and there's actually a thank you note from the author, which is really amazing. So that's staying. I'm keeping my grade school, middle school yearbook. I really like this. It's cute. I really enjoyed my childhood when I was living in Seattle. And I miss dearly several people from that time period, some of which are no longer with us. There's baby me, and there's my friend that would punch me in the arm in kindergarten. Hell yeah. All of these are my high school yearbooks. I like parts of high school. I mean, like, I like my life during high school. I didn't particularly like high school. I didn't like the majority of my class. So I think I'm actually going to part with these. I don't know what I'm going to do with them because donating them seems kind of ridiculous. But I don't need them. I don't need to haul them around with me because they're heavy and unnecessary. So I will find a home for them somewhere else, wherever that may be. Now this one, my mom put together for me, I think last year for the holidays. And it's just kind of like snippets from my big scrapbook that she has. And of course she chose the picture where baby me, whose hair didn't come in on the sides for like 7 years, looks like she has a dickhead. Thanks, Mom. That being said, even though the print shop kind of screwed up with the dimensions of everything, I really like this. I really appreciate it. It was very, very heartfelt. And looking at it just, you know, makes me remember the good times and everything, but it doesn't make me sad, which is what I like. Because sometimes when I look at nostalgic stuff, it makes me very, very depressed because I know I can never go back there. But this stuff is kind of like, you know, this was a good time. So we're good. All right, so that one is staying. And I think I'm actually going to get rid of this Dr. Seuss anthology. I got this from, I think, the dance instructor for when I was stage managing Seussical, the musical. And it was a really super... Oh no, I forgot. I totally forgot. It's been signed by so many people. Oh no, I hope I'm able to donate this because it's a really good book, but it's totally marked up on the first page. Ooh, well, I will find something to do with this, but I don't need it. And I really appreciate Janice for thinking of me and putting this together because this probably wasn't cheap. But I never pick it up, and I haven't for at least 6 years. There were actually a couple of things that were housed in that book, and I have some kind of scaled down versions of our show posters that everyone also signed, and so I'm definitely going to hang on to these two because I really loved stage managing. I severely miss it, and I wish that I had the time and resources to do it. I honestly wish that I had gone to school for it, instead of, you know, trying to do marine biology and spectacularly failing and then going to, like, you know, aesthetic school and then not doing anything about it. Oh god, I'm a mess. Anyway, yeah, I'm definitely keeping both of these. I want to get them framed someday. I just don't know where I'd put them. I'm also going to keep some little awards that my what's it called? My director and my dance choreographer made me, but I am going to throw out, and these are really weird that I kept them, a prop for how to raise your child. I don't know why I kept that. And also an envelope where our musical director, or our choir director gave me some emergency because I was getting sick. Actually, I had swine flu during this. That was that period of time. So I don't know why I kept that. It was very sweet of him to do that, but I don't need it. Lastly, we just have a stack of other books. I'm going to keep Shape of My Own, which, looping back to the eating disorder discussion, is kind of very comforting for me to read. I think I stole this from my mom's personal library. I haven't touched it. Wait, maybe I did. I don't know. Maybe she used, oddly enough, a leaf to bookmark that, but I don't know. I will return this back to her. This was recommended to me by one of my other shrinks, The Worry Cure. I don't really remember getting a whole lot out of it, unfortunately. Oh my god, no. Is this more eating disorder bullshit? Like, this stuff, seriously, it permeates my life. It permeates my life, and it's awful. It's everywhere. Everywhere I look, I'm just reminded of this. And it's really starting to get to me. It's really annoying. So this is getting thrown out. This was a grocery list from back when I was really struggling. And I think I am going to take all the bookmarks out of this and donate it to either library or the book bin. I'm finding even more stuff in here. What the hell is this? Yeah, this was homework by my shrink. I don't need this. I am keeping Clive Barker's Apparat. I love his movies, and I love this book, and this is a book that my grandfather gave to me, and I really, really enjoyed this. This is a great fantasy read, even though it is young adult fiction. It's unbelievably good. I love it. That's staying. I am, however, going to part with Harry Potter the Cursed Child. I've been trying to convince myself that I liked it, but I didn't. So I'm going to donate that. And I'm going to get rid of the plane ticket that was in there because I literally read that all on a 3-hour plane. I'm keeping Winter Girls, again, comforting. Where'd You Go, Bernadette is actually on loan to me from my mom. This is very funny. It's kind of about the specific area of Seattle that I grew up in and how petty the adults were. I read it and I liked it to a point, and then kind of at the last third it dropped off and I wasn't so hot about it. So this needs to go back to my mom, and I don't think I will purchase that. I made it a little far into Schindler's List, but not a whole lot. And I have some stuff in here, oddly enough. I have a products pamphlet that I don't need, so that's going. And I have another plane ticket, which I don't need, so that's going. I think I'm going to return this to the miniature free library that they're like peppered all over my town where I found this. So that's gonna go. This Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone has seen better days, but I shall keep it. Change your brain, change your life before 25. I have less than a year to read this. Do I necessarily want to read this? I don't know. I'll keep it just to satiate my mom, and then of course I'm keeping Essential Judaism because, hey, I mean, yeah, kind of relevant to my life. And there we go. That's another category down. I made so much more progress than I originally had anticipated, and I'm feeling really, 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 really good about this. Excellent. On to the next category. So I'm adapting the whole 30-day pickup lines template for decluttering, which is what I'm using, to include basically all of my electronics. It's supposed to be old and unused electronics, but I don't really have a whole lot of them. So here they all are, minus my camera, my cell phone, and my cell phone charger, and my laptop, and the mouse associated with my laptop. But those are all things that I use regularly, so there's no point really going through them, so they're staying out. I guess we'll just get started. I'm definitely keeping these headphones because A, they're not mine to give away. They're kind of on loan from my roommate. So These are staying. They're fantastic. They're actually very warm and they double really well as earmuffs. Those are staying. I'm going to keep these Apple earbuds, even though I don't like them and they hurt my ears. However, I don't have $80 to drop to buy a pair of these for myself. So when I have to return those, I'm going to be using these once more, much to my chagrin. I have this charging block that looks a little worse for wear. I don't know what this is, like this weird rusty bit, so I'm going to discard this to be on the safe side. This is my Fitbit, who does not have a charger. The charger actually broke, and so I haven't been using it. However, the charger is an easily replaced thing, so I'm going to hold on to this. But I am going to get rid of like the case and all the literature associated with it because I can literally find all of this online. I don't need that. This is my car charger and the cord that I keep in my car. Keeping that. Those are used on an almost daily basis. My laptop is really old and one of the two USB ports doesn't work, so I had to get a USB hub so I can use my mouse because my trackpad doesn't work, and my external hard drive. So I am keeping that. This is part of my external hard drive's cords, so those are staying. That's staying. My flashlight is staying. This is super bright and it's really good. I use this every day that I work. These little speakers are Bluetooth activated, so I use them quite frequently, so both of them are staying. This is my 50mm lens for my camera and the thingy for here. Those are both staying. I'm keeping my lighting kit, so that's staying. Hard drive is staying. I don't need this USB port chip reader anymore, so I'm going to get rid of that. Actually no, I'm going to get rid of this calculator. I don't need a calculator. I have my phone, which has a calculator. I'm fine. So that's getting discarded. I'm keeping this daylight lamp alarm clock radio combo, even though I'm not currently using it. It's decent. And of course, I'm keeping my space heater because my landlords are slumlords and don't keep up on draft-proofing the house. So I've been getting use out of this, unfortunately, like every day. So yeah, woohoo! I got some stuff decluttered. Not a whole lot though. Not very surprising, however, since I do use the majority of my electronics regularly. This all is really sensitive information for the most part, so I will not be decluttering it on camera. However, through the magic of editing, I'm going to show you what I'm keeping and what I'm getting rid of in nice little piles right now. I know it doesn't look like I've done much, but I really have decluttered quite a lot. My, I guess, safety box, I actually have to replace this with a fireplace safe. Has been weeded through. This used to be like jam-packed full of stuff. There's only what's needed in there now. These are actually being given to the people that they need to be at. Car stuff is over there. Stuff that requires immediate attention is over there. Other miscellaneous documents. And all of this stuff is going to be shredded and disposed of properly. I got rid of a lot, way more than I was ever expecting, and I'm feeling really great about it. We're ending things on an easy note. We're going through all of these pens that I have, seeing if they work, and if they don't, they will be discarded. If they do, if I like them, I will keep them. If not, I will give them to someone else. And yeah, should be easy. I've got a little piece of scrap paper here. Let's get to scribbling. Okay, I've got a mechanical pencil, which works, and a bunch of other little things in here. This SD card doesn't work, so I will discard it. I'm going to keep the erasers that go with the... Actually, no, I write in pen most of the time, so I'm going to get rid of the mechanical pencil and all the accessories associated with it. I am, however, going to keep these sticky notes. I use these to bookmark my books. Let's see, I still have some stuff in here. And the last item are some Harry Potter postage stamps. These are definitely staying. I am going to get rid of this tin. I don't need it, but I am going to be keeping this pencil case, which actually had makeup in it at one point. So I'm going to be keeping quite a few pens because I do delivery and I require these for signatures. However, the ones that I'm going to keep in my personal stash here at home are these brightly colored ones. This Sharpie and this black pen. All of these are going to go back into my car. Also going to put the little things in here so I can have a nice little self-contained area where I have all of my writing / reading supplies. Pretty much all of these are good. I just don't need them. So these are going to go into the communal pen drawer at home. Same with this and these. All right, so that kind of wraps it up. Let's take a look and see everything that I got rid of and everything that I'm keeping. This is everything that I'm keeping. This is everything that I'm discarding. A lot of this, especially this is going to get burned, the important documents, but a lot of this is going to be donated or found house elsewhere. I'm going to try to keep my waste on this as low as possible. But yeah, no, I'm feeling pretty good about this. I'm definitely keeping more than half, but like I've come to terms with that. It's okay. Like I wouldn't mind hauling this stuff around with me if I happen to move again. It's not really that big of a deal. And I'm really glad just to have all of this weight off of my shoulders. So this was a very nice, successful decluttering session, I would say. And I will see you guys later with another one. Goodbye.